Welcome back to No Ivory Tower Economics, and today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. So here on the daily chart, you can see that Bitcoin has closed below the previous closing low, which was over here, and that was at 84,732 bucks. And then yesterday it had closed at 84,556 bucks, creating a lower low from a closing basis. And then as you could see, we have the potential for divergence, bullish divergence to form here, depending on where the next couple of daily closes close. So if it continues to dump off significantly, then yeah, of course you're not gonna have divergence. But as long as the RSI is above this last low of 28.28, then we have the potential for a bullish divergence to start forming here on Bitcoin, and thus probably create the relief rally that I was hoping for, that Bitcoin would have got into the 100, slightly above the 100,000 price mark. That didn't happen, but given that I still think there's a potential for that to happen still, and then Bitcoin dump off, or it could just continue to dump off from here. We're not sure, but I think there is that potential. There's that bullish case to be said here for a potential single drive of bullish divergence to form here in the next couple of days. And then that could create the opportunity for Bitcoin to at least go back to the previous high of 98 and change, or retest that two, which I'm hoping is going to retest the 200 simple day moving average and possibly break beyond it. Although the 200-day simple moving average is much lower now, is at 98 $1,157 as of today, which today is what day is it today? The 30th of January. So we have one more day in this month, and we'll see what happens. And then here, so now here, this is the bearish case for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, if you look this these two exponential moving averages, the 21, the yellow 21, and the 55.21 exponential moving average, and the 21 exponential moving average sure looks like it wants to close below the 55 exponential moving average in the next couple of weeks. It's probably going to happen by next week, by the closure of next week. I don't think it's going to happen in this closure, although it's very close. If Bitcoin does start to drop below the actually by the end of the next 2 days, we'll find out. Actually, yeah, it can happen this closure actually. So sorry about that. It can happen this closure. And when that does happen, every single time Bitcoin has done that, there's been only three other instances that matter really. Or since because Bitcoin is pretty young, so it's only happened three other times. And every time this has happened, Bitcoin has retested the 200 weekly simple moving average, which is currently sitting at 38,300 and change. The time before that was in the last bear market, which happened here. You see there was a cross to the downside, and then pretty much on the next next weekly closure, Bitcoin retested it, bounced, and then it continued to break down well below it. And as you can see, it actually retested this at 377 exponential moving average. I believe that's what that one is. Um, and then before that, back in 2018, you see the 21 moves below the 55. It moves sideways for a couple of weeks, and then it really just dumps off. And not only does it retest the 200 weekly simple moving average, it breaks down below it, and then it lives below it for several weeks, a couple of months, and then finally it started to move back to the upside. And then the first instance before that was in 2014. As you can see, the 21 moves below the 55 right here on this red line. It starts to it actually rallied, but then it was another fake out, and then it dumped off. It retested the 200 simple weekly moving average, and then it was stayed below it for for a short amount of time. Well, for a couple of weeks for sure, and it just kept retesting it. So now that 200 simple day moving average became resistance, and it finally broke out, touched the 21, and then broke back down. So yeah, so that's kind of what not kind of, that is what exactly what I'm expecting. I think Bitcoin is going to do that. The question is, will Bitcoin do something similar like this, where the cross happens and instead of it breaking down immediately, it retests, in this case, the in this particular instance, it retests the 21 and the 55 respectively. Let's see if that happened here. No, here it just kind of broke down. Well, there was like a little bit of a rally here, but not as big as that other one. And here, no, nothing happened. It just pretty much just broke down. So Yeah, I mean, I think from here we'll see what happens with this crossing. I'll keep monitoring this in the next week or two. Well, I mean, the next couple of days, and we'll see what happens. But ultimately, I am foreseeing Bitcoin at some time this year to retest this 200 simple weekly moving average that's currently sitting at 68,000 bucks, and possibly get a little bit below that. I don't think it's gonna get much lower than that personally, because right now Bitcoin to that 16%, which is not a lot. It's really not a big drop. I mean, can it get to the 3,377? I don't see that happening. I don't see Bitcoin getting down to 50 or 49,000 bucks. But anything is possible. Like anything is possible. Let's see what was the moves from. God, it's kind of hard to tell here. How big were the moves previously? Guess I have to remove this one too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Let's take it from the middle, I guess. Just say here. Yeah, like oops, 25%. But that doesn't really matter so much. But it's not a. What I'm trying to say is not a big move. Like I've said in some of my previous videos, I don't think Bitcoin is going to drop to the downside much more than it already has. It's already come down quite a bit, really. It's already come down like close to 50% from the highs. So I don't really see much more downside. I do see maybe another 15, but maximum 20% from the top, which means sorry from its current price action, and then from the top, whoops, from the from the all-time high to sorry, I made a mistake. I must have measured that wrong. So yeah, so it's come down about 30, 33, 35% from the highs. I'm not catching it exactly at the top right there. So yeah, like about 35, 34%. And if it drops down to the 20, 21, sorry, the 200 simple moving average, weekly simple moving average would be a 45% loss. Historically, Bitcoin loses something like 70% in bear markets, and I don't see Bitcoin getting down to 40K. I don't see that happen, 38K. So yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you guys like the video. Like, subscribe, drop a comment. See you guys next time. Take care. Bye.